Hi Aquarius, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is Saturday, May 9th, 2020. This is a general love reading for the sign of Aquarius for this upcoming week in May. Because it's general, it can pertain to anything, relationships or otherwise. Be flexible with the energy, take what resonates, leave behind what doesn't. My intention is to reach those that need the message and will benefit from it. So hopefully you'll get something out of it by the end of the reading. If you are brand new or unfamiliar with my channel, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. Carmilla is the bird that's sitting on her cage in the background. She's joining us today. She's in about 50% of my readings, I guess. Not all. Also, there is more specific information about my videos in my channel in the description box below if you want to take a look there. Okay, so Aquarius, let's go ahead and get right into this. Let me give this deck one more shuffle. And let's see what's going on for Aquarius this coming week. Here we go. We're starting off with the Star in reverse, paired with Death. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Two of Cups. Emperor. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse. And Judgment. Okay, so something needs to be healed within a relationship. I think there could be a lack of communication, lack of compromise, unwillingness to try to work things out. There could be a power struggle going on here. But I think the relationship is definitely significant, and I think it's going to, based on what I'm seeing right now, it's going to survive, but there's something that needs to be addressed here. And it's significant. It's significant to the point of, if it's not addressed, it's going to become very toxic if it's not already. I do think that this is definitely Six of Cups, Two of Cups energy, which means it's a very significant relationship. This could indicate someone coming back from your past. This can indicate a relationship of longevity. This can indicate someone who is a soulmate. It does not have to be romantic or intimate, but this is somebody who was meant to be in your life. You know, up in the 5D, you guys made a plan together. You sat down and said, okay, I'm going to come into your life in, 2010, and we're going to have a relationship, and we're going to experience this, this, and this, and we're going to spiritually grow from these experiences, and we're going to learn together. Now, a spiritual connection of that nature, again, does not have to be romantic or intimate, and it does not have to be lifelong. This could be somebody who's in your life for just a short period of time or a long period of time, whatever the case may be. It's somebody who's significant, who you're meant to cross paths with so that you have some kind of life experiences together. But I feel right now there might be a power struggle going on between the two of you, and things are not working out because of that. So with Death and the Star in reverse in your underlying energy, this indicates that there is something definitely very wrong within this relationship, something that needs to be addressed, something that needs to be healed, something that needs to be transformed. And it could be causing resentment between the two of you. There could be something that someone is hanging on to that that's keeping you from moving forward with this relationship. Let's see what else we get. That was a lot of information for the first 8 cards, Aquarius. Let's see if we stay on the path or if we get steered in another direction. Let's see where this goes. We have the World in reverse, clarifying the Star. 7 of Pentacles. Page of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Page of Wands. And then the Three of Swords. So this could be a workplace situation. You could be dealing with a coworker or colleague with all these pentacles. We have the 7, 2, 5, 3 of Pentacles out here. Again, I get the feeling as though the problem in this connection is an inability to see eye to eye, an inability to work together, unwillingness. Something is not balancing out between you two. I feel like this is something that has lasted a while. Your relationship, I feel like you've been working on this connection for a long time. I think it's also possible that you've had this problem for a long time. It almost feels like there's this underlying, unspoken maybe, energy between the two of you. A bit of a power struggle. I'm not sure what that looks like for you. Maybe it's in the workplace. If you two clash heads when it comes to making decisions, for example, maybe you own a business together. And what I'm feeling more than anything else is a definite need to bring this out in the open, to take action on this imbalance. It's got to be spoken. The feeling of these resentful feelings need to be spoken out loud, because if they're not, they're going to result in significant grief and heartache. If you don't address this issue right now within this connection, you're just burying yourself deeper. Again, I get that feeling, we'll see if the devil shows up, but that feeling of toxicity, you're not addressing the issue and it just keeps getting worse. You just keep digging your hole deeper. I get the sense that this is something that has been lasting. This is something an underlying problem within the relationship, very possibly unspoken, and maybe it was even imperceptible for a while. Did I say that right? Imperceptible. In other words, you may have known it was there, but it wasn't a big deal, or it wasn't affecting you that much. Maybe it was something little that was bothering you about this person, but you weren't saying it out loud. And as time has passed, as you've gone on with this relationship, carrying on with it and not speaking the words, what you've done is created a wound that's now starting to fester. It may have been just a little wound that could have been treated early on, and it would have healed nicely. No scarring. No infection. But it hasn't been addressed, and it hasn't been treated, and therefore, it's starting to fester. It's starting to fester to the point where it's going to be unrepairable if you don't get it treated. It's not just about putting a little antibiotic on the wound and it's going to heal up, put a Band-Aid on it and heal a couple days later. This is getting to the point where it's festering so much you might have to cut the limb off. Amputation is the only way it's going to be cured at this point in time, if you don't address it. Let's see what else we get. Aquarius. It's a pretty interesting reading so far. We have the Two of Pentacles again in reverse. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Nine of Pentacles. Moon in reverse. Page of Cups in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse. My neighbors are making a hell of a lot of noise out there. He's dragging a toolbox out of his garage right now. Across the concrete. So if you can hear that, I apologize. I don't know what the hell he's doing with it. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And then the Nine of Swords. Okay, I mean, these cards couldn't be any clearer. I love it when I feel like I'm confirmed with my first message. I'm like, yeah, you're right on track with this one. This relationship is getting ready to slip out of your hands. It's going to be a missed opportunity. You'll be kicking yourself for it if you don't start speaking up about this. If the words are not spoken, the communication is not had, then you're going to lose this connection. And not only will you lose it, before you lose it, it's going to be a festering, oozing, sticky, ooey gooey, really uncomfortable situation before it finally probably is a done deal. I mean, look at this. If you don't make an effort, Aquarius, and I'm not just putting the responsibility on your shoulders, but this is your reading. And I feel like this is your energy right now. You know, again, this could be a workplace situation. Now we have the 2 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. 2, 4, 9, 5, 3, a second 2 of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles as well. 7. I think I said 7. I mean, that's a lot of Pentacles. So this could very well be a workplace situation. You could be connected to this person in the workplace. Could also potentially be an intimate partnership with the 2 of Cups out here. I mean, that's possible. We have the Page of Cups, Knight of Cups as well. And the 6 of Cups. So it could be both. But this could also just be, you know, a colleague or business partner, co-worker that you're just very, very close to, close, good friend, you know, that kind of thing. But there's definitely something that needs to be addressed. A festering wound between the 2 of you that needs to be addressed. Or you're going to lose this. You're going to lose this connection, Aquarius. I mean, the card's not indicating that you're going to lose it now. Do you know what I mean? It's not like, she landed on my glasses. It's not that, yeah, those aren't very, that's not a very sturdy perch. Do you want to come? You can't bite though. She was being really nippy earlier, so I threw her on her cage. I didn't throw her. I didn't throw her. I put her on her cage. That would be mean if I threw her. She's not. She's moody. I'm not gonna mess with you, Carmela. Just do your thing. Just be good. Just don't eat my iPad case. My iPad case is chewed up because she likes to chew on it. Sorry, Aquarius. I'm distracted. Again, what I'm getting is there's no definitive ending to this relationship, and I don't see it ending. What I see is there needs to be something addressed, something that's been unspoken, something needs to be talked about, because if you don't, you are causing right now what could be a curable minor wound is going to turn into something that needs to be amputated. I know that's gruesome, but you know what? That's what I see. That's what I've got so far. So we've got 7 of Wands in reverse. Page of Cups again. Queen of Cups. Two of Cups again. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Wheel of Fortune, again, but this time in the upright. Page of Wands, clarifying the Page of Wands. And then the Nine of Swords again in the same set of cards with the Nine of Swords. You know what I'm getting, I'm going to go ahead and mention this before I put the second set out. So I'm getting that it's possible the two of you have broached this subject. I get the feeling of, when I look at these two pages, first of all, I think it's you and the person you're dealing with. And I think that maybe whatever is festering has been talked about on a very surface level. Only enough, only to the point where when you're finished with the conversation, really nothing has been said, so nothing's been resolved. So what do you both do? You go back and you worry about it, or you think about it, you stress about it. There's anxiety because the words are not being spoken the way they need to be spoken. The actions are not being taken in a mature manner to resolve this issue. It's being treated like it's no big deal, and it's a big deal. Aquarius, it's a big deal. And you're just not talking about it. And you know, this is what you're looking at. If you keep going down this road, Aquarius, this is where it's at right now. Okay? We have the Ten of Pentacles here, which could indicate divorce. Again, we got the Pentacles coming out like crazy. Divorce, instability within a family unit can indicate a broken legacy. Loss of, can indicate loss of tangible things or money. But again, I get the feeling too, it's almost like a power struggle. It's like neither one of you wants to talk about it or wants to be the one to make it a big deal. Now here's the other thing. We have the Queen of Cups that came out here. And the Knight of Cups has been sitting here, and I haven't really paid much attention to it because it was kind of confusing me, so I was kind of just looking at it and thinking, okay, I'll get clarity on that later. So I think the Queen of Cups is your energy, Aquarius. And I think there's emotions here, at least coming from you, coming from your side. I think you might have some emotional feelings that have been left unspoken. And you might be wanting to let this be known, to talk about this on a deeper level, but I think that you're also afraid to reveal this information because you might not be sure about where this will lead. And I think that you want your person, I think you want your person to be the one to talk about how they feel. But they're not doing it. They're not doing it. Neither party is willing to take the initiative to talk on this on a much more significant level than a page level. And because nobody is talking about it, I think you've been waiting for an offer from this. I keep looking at the camera and I see this one piece of hair sticking out. Make it lay down once and for all. There we go. And then there it is, still sticking up. Like it matters. It doesn't matter. Okay. I think you've been, and there she is to mess up my hair. Anyway, so why do I bother? I think that you have been, maybe you can't tell, but right now, I'm counting to 10 in my head because she just bit me hard. Let me get this thought out, and then I'm going to take her off my head. I think you have been waiting for this person to make an offer, to broach the subject, to maybe take the relationship to another level. And I'm throwing this out there as a side note, as a possibility for, is this gonna make you wonder? Yep, okay, if you bring something close to her that she's on, this is a shell I collected from the beach yesterday. I went to the coast with my son. It's fabulous. If she's introduced to something she's not familiar with, she won't bite. She'll get on your finger instead. She broke the skin. I bet you get a little bruise. I'm waiting to see if it's going to bleed. Anyway, this whole Queen of Cups, Two of Cups thing, for me, this is more about, this could be the festering wound. It could be that you've wanted to take this relationship to the next level, that you have very strong feelings for this individual. You feel a connection, but you haven't spoken the words. You haven't, or if you have, it hasn't gone anywhere. And I get the feeling that you want some reciprocation, or you want even this person to come forward with an offer, but they haven't. And maybe you feel this is a power struggle. These are, you know, this is almost an unspoken tug of war between the two of you. Who's going to say the words first? Because as it stands right now, the fact that there isn't communication and nobody's talking about this is causing the relationship to go downhill. And opening up and perpetuating this festering wound. That's what I'm going to call this video. Festering wound. It's a good title. It fits perfectly. So let's get this last round of cards out, Aquarius, and then we're going to wrap this up. Queen of Swords. This is you. I mean, this is you wanting to, once and for all, stand your ground, speak your words, speak your truth, and you're doing it with setting emotions aside. So let's set this whole Queen of Cups situation aside. Let's talk about the relationship itself. This is Aquarius wanting to be open and forthright, but and then we have the High Priestess. I just want to get this out. Open and forthright about this festering wound, and let's figure this out once and for all. Let's decide how to deal with it, because it's creating a significant level of imbalance within this relationship. And if we don't address the situation, you know, then we're essentially just giving it up. We're walking away from this, because if you're not going to address it, you might as well walk away. Right now, things are being left unsaid. High Priestess can indicate, you know, intuition. Maybe you're relying on intuition too much, dare I say. I don't think there's anything wrong with relying on your intuition. Don't get me wrong. But if you two have, you know, a spiritual connection and kind of this intuitive connection, maybe you can kind of even understand each other's thoughts without the spoken word. The problem is you become too reliant on this. And you need to speak the words. You need to say it out loud. You need to say it out loud, Aquarius. There it is. There's the communication card. There's the action card, the Eight of Wands. You need to say this out loud. Take action, speak the words, stop hiding behind the unspoken word. Stop hiding behind the fact that you want them to come forward instead of you having to say it. Death in reverse. Four of Cups. Five of Cups in reverse. There's the Ten of Swords. This card has been coming out a lot lately. And then the Two of Swords in reverse. So again, to me, this is, and I think that this has happened before. This feels like something you've been dealing with for a long time. And I feel like maybe you've had these starter conversations with this person, Aquarius. Maybe you've had these little maybe this is going to come up once and for all, and we can come to terms with this, or we can finally deal with it. I feel like you've had a few opportunities where the topics come up and you just haven't spoken about this issue to the level it needs to be spoken about. And so it keeps happening, and it keeps happening, and nobody's ever willing to take the plunge and speak the words and be totally honest and totally open and as clear as possible about not only how you feel, but your intentions for the relationship and where you'd like to see it go. Nobody's willing to be completely forthright. And what it's done is, Aquarius, it's put you in the situation where you have no other choice but to accept the demise of this relationship, because this festering wound is getting too big to deal with anymore. And you know what? The universe is going to take care of it and put a period at the end of the sentence once and for all if you can't do it. And by that I mean period at the end of the sentence. Speak the words. Have a conversation. And I'm sounding like a hard ass, Aquarius, and I feel like I am all of a sudden, and I don't mean to sound like this. Maybe I do. Just speak the words. Say it. What do you have to lose at this point in time? If you're dealing with this kind of festering wound right now, what do you have to lose by speaking the words once and for all? Having the conversation. I wouldn't want to dwell in this Nine of Swords energy. I wouldn't want to sit here and just stew and worry and wonder and think about it and hope. And, well, hope's okay. Hope's okay, but if it's hope, if it's feeling hopeless, if this is what you're dealing with when you think about it, who wants to put up with that? No, thank you. Just speak the words. Just say it. Say it out loud. I was going to talk about a personal experience, and I've changed my mind. What I will say is I do understand what it's like to be in a relationship where communication is like the last resort. And I just roll my head, my eyes, my head, I roll everything in the face of somebody who just refuses to communicate because I don't get it. I just don't understand. I don't. I know that there's often obstacles or things that keep you from talking, and most of the time it has to do with dealing with the ego, not wanting to be the first one to broach the subject, or not wanting to be the one who brings up something that's uncomfortable, or not wanting to talk about something where you're not sure what the outcome's going to be. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Am I going to regret talking about this? Is it going to be embarrassing? All of those are possibilities, Aquarius. The problem is, if your choice ultimately is to avoid everything that's uncomfortable when it comes to having communication with somebody, then you get to deal with the Nine of Swords. Then you get this instead. And I'm telling you what, you put yourself in a Nine of Swords type of energy, it is hard to break free from that, because you're digging yourself a hole it's really hard to get out of. So I'm going to get off my soapbox, Aquarius, and I just want to say one last thing. I think that to a certain extent you're embodying some energy that looks like it could potentially go somewhere. You could potentially really, if this is representing your higher self, this Queen of Swords, then take her advice, because she's saying talk about it. She's saying remove that emotional piece out of this conversation and talk about it. Get your answers one way or the other, just talk about it. So let's get a Dreams of Gaia Tarot card for you, Aquarius, and we're going to wrap this up. Again, if the Queen of Swords is kind of, and I do sense that you could be thinking that it's finally time, that you've just had enough of this. You can't do it anymore. You're just fed up. You've got to make a decision one way or the other, because you've got to heal yourself from this energy. So you've got to make a decision. I feel like that you might be at that breaking point, Aquarius. Again, I want to remind you, this is a solo reading. This is specifically for Aquarius. I don't even have this other person's energy, except for some indications of the interactions between you two. This person is not present in this reading. That could potentially mean that this is something that you're dealing with on your own, and maybe that's what you're scared of more than anything else, is that this is something that you're having to deal with, and maybe the problem is that this issue, this festering wound, is not even on this person's radar. They don't even know what's going on. They have no idea. Maybe that's what those cards are indicating. This person just doesn't understand what's going on, and you're seeing it as a power play. You're seeing it as, they're just avoiding the conversation too, because they want me to be the first one to broach the subject. I'm going to take this card, but I think what it is potentially, I think for some of you, it could be the case could be that this person is just not thinking about this the way you are. You might be on two totally different mindsets when it comes to this issue that you're dealing with. So we have Destiny that came out in the upright position. This is one of the major arcana cards in this deck. It came out in the upright position, and I am going to read the section that's for present. These major arcana have meanings, present, past, future, and then potential blockages. And lately I've been reading the present passage because hang on, I obviously can't do two things at one time. Look at my Roman numeral. I'm looking at the Roman numeral and thinking, what the hell is that? But talking at the same time, and 10 and 5 and 1, that's 16. I gotta do one thing at a time. Okay, so like I said, I've been doing the present ones because these readings for me are present energy. But as always, please understand, this could be something that has happened in the recent past, could be something you're dealing with right now, or it could potentially be something that you're going to be dealing with. But I am going to read it as a present situation. And it's long. It's about a page and a half. So just bear with me, Aquarius. We're only at 32 minutes. It's actually not bad for me lately. I've been running really long. Okay, so let's see what we've got here for you, Aquarius. When the Destiny card appears in the present, it represents the quest for our destiny. In order to discover that destiny, we must determine what our gifts are. What are your gifts? What do you have a talent for? Maybe you feel that you do not have any unique abilities, gifts, or strengths. But why do they have to be unique? Why does it have to be a skill that only you possess? There are many butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers, and there's always room for more, especially for those who are passionate about what they do. It is not always about what you do, but how well you do it and what it inspires within you and in others. Do not make the mistake of automatically looking for something big or uniquely creative because it places you in the public spotlight. The most important people often work behind the scenes, away from any spotlight. The reality is that we usually look in all the wrong places because we are comparing ourselves to others. Another common mistake is to believe that our destiny is intertwined with our career path. Your destiny may have absolutely nothing to do with your choice of career. You may in fact have to walk a career path that is not one you love, but allows you to do what you love. Sometimes the thing we love to do the most is not suitable as a career, and sometimes the act of turning it into a career can lessen the love we feel. Weigh your choices carefully and consider the benefits and consequences of turning a passion into a career path. To find your gifts, ask yourself the following questions. What did you dream of doing or being as a child? What activities do you immerse yourself in so completely that they have you losing track of time? What activities in the present leave you with a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment? Sit down and write a list of your strengths and weaknesses. What are you good at? What stops you in your tracks? Ask others that you know and trust for their insight. Ask them from their perspective what they see as your weaknesses and strengths. What have they observed you doing well? There is a good chance they have been saying that you are really good at something for years. They may see something you cannot. What comes naturally to you? If there is something that you do with ease and natural ability, then this would be one of your gifts. Can you make plants grow without any effort? Do animals respond well to you? Does every meal you make bring a smile to the faces of those who share your table? What are your passions? What is something you are always talking about to the point where others wonder if you have a one-track mind? What is it about the interest that draws you? Remember, it might not be the interest itself, but something related or connected. The secret is to look within, not to look at others. We support ourselves in our quest when we understand that sometimes our destinies might appear small and insignificant, but may be of crucial importance to the lives of those around us. Also understand that sometimes our destinies remain hidden because it is not a destiny that changes your life, but instead changes the lives of others. You are here to fulfill a grand purpose, even if you never determine what it is. Everything happens for a reason. So this actually brought me back now to the fact that I felt very strongly that this could be something having to do with a job opportunity, workplace situation where you have this connection within the workplace. I feel like the connection is definitely significant to you, but I also feel like whatever it is you're doing together is also important, and maybe the challenges within the relationship are affecting whatever else you're doing. If it's your job, some creative endeavor, whatever that it looks like for you. Maybe you're struggling with your ultimate destiny because you're so focused on this connection and the problems within the connection that you're not able to identify your destiny or work toward that. So this could go a number of different ways, but I do feel like this card brought me back to the idea that this could be a workplace situation, something that you're working on together, and because of this broken connection, and it feels broken right now, it's affecting ultimately the other goal or endeavors that you're working on together. So that's what I got out of this. Anyway, I'm going to leave that here, Aquarius. I hope that this reading gave you some clarity. I hope that it gave you something worthwhile. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Carmela says goodbye. She also said she was going to be good. So you heard it, and so did I, Aquarius. She said she was going to be good for my next reading. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope I see you again soon. Bye, Aquarius.